Welcome back. This is John Locke, and today I want to talk about the evidence of what you see happening in these search engine results pages, or SERPs, versus what you would expect to have happen or what you want to have happen. And why does Google choose certain things to appear in the SERPs at different times? Now, I'm going to use this as an example. So I had one conversation where somebody was asking me, here's like a term of this service that we sell and we provide within this geographical region. When I search it, like, it comes up, but it's all informational pages and we don't come up. But if I add like my geography, like my city or my state, then my business comes up. And what we want to have happen is we want to just type in the generic term and have us come up. So I explored this, I did a search, and what I saw is when you type in the generic term, and this happens a lot, is that you get a bunch of informational articles, basically blog articles or definition pages or overview pages of what this particular service is, instead of actual providers of that service within the geography. Now, this particular conversation that I was having, I was asked, Google knows where we're at, right? It knows what geography we're searching from. It knows that we're in this city. It knows that we're in this area. Why don't we come up? Why do I have to add the city? Why do I have to add the state in Northern California or Sacramento or whatever, as an example, for us to show up there? When we're ranking like high, when we see this, but if we just type in the generic term, we don't come up. Okay, so excellent question. When you have a short term like that, Google doesn't know what you're looking for. So it's going to give you the broadest possible scope of what you're looking for. When you add more words as a modifier, it changes the meaning. That's one of the things that they've tried to add into their algorithm with bidirectional encoders, is basically getting the meaning of different search queries when you add more words to it, and the order of the words and the context of the words. So if you search for we'll say like construction near me, or construction companies, and add the city, then you would come up. But if you just type in construction, then you might get like a Wikipedia article on construction and similar articles where it's talking about all different things. It might show you all kinds of different things for that, but it might not show you the top construction companies in your area. Google simply is having to guess because you're not giving it specific enough information. And that's going to happen for a lot of searches, because it has to basically use the information that you're typing in and then decode. Now, in cases like that, it might be 100% informational pages, like blog articles, that show up for that particular search if you just type in construction by itself. There might be one or two local providers maybe in that, mixed in with everything else, because again, Google does not know exactly what you're looking for. And it's nice to want to rank for things like that, but you have to aim to be the most clear-cut choice of local providers and be number one with a bullet, if you would. You're basically establish yourself as the top choice, and it's very clear-cut that you're the top choice in that. So the advice that I gave this person with this is, a couple different things. One, set your expectation differently. Like if you're trying to rank for construction just by itself, you've got to be the number one ranked result in your area to even have a shot at that. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. So you got to do all the things that are on your list of things to improve for SEO in order to get that. if you're ranking in the top 3 for construction near me or construction companies near me, and before maybe you weren't anywhere near that, you know, that's progress. So to get to number 1, I mean, you're going to have the right content on your site. And again, this is for a specific search, like service provider near me, or not just the service that you provide, but service provider near me, or service provider, and then add the city or the region. But have the right content on your site, add all your social media profiles, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, LinkedIn company page, very important. Do not skip this. Make sure that you have a very robust link profile. Check out all your third-party listings like Yelp, yellowpages.com, Better Business Bureau, and then all the other ones that are relevant to your specific category. And make sure that you have the right business categories, because Google does look at the business categories on these third-party providers. Make sure that you have listings where all of your competition have these listings as well. Then if you can get positive press for your company, positive things where people are linking to the content on your site, or maybe you have press releases for your local business journal, or Chamber of Commerce, or whatever, or whatever it is. The more of those that you have, the better you're going to do. If you can get quoted in some type of article as somebody with expertise, if you're using a service like Help a Reporter Out and you're applying to pitches that are relevant to your industry, then eventually you're going to get some links. But you got to respond to all of them that are relevant to your particular industry, because it really is a numbers game. But if you do all of these things and have a good looking site with information laid out well, then you're going to rank at the top for people who are searching for those particular services. But keep it in mind that if people are just using a generic keyword and they're just typing in the one word or the 2 words that are the service that you're providing, more often than not, Google is going to come back with a page 1 that's full of informational content, Wikipedia type pages, blog articles, resource pages that explain the overview and history and definitions of this particular industry or service that is what you provide, because that is a safe thing for Google to do. And they might mix in some other articles, such as a newspaper article or something like that. Might mix in like one of the top service providers. But don't bank on that. And I know that people do this sometimes. They look at keyword volume. They use different tools, and they look at keyword volume. And they're thinking it would be awesome if we could rank for this term that has all this volume. But in order to do that, to rank for those generic terms, often you're going to have to create a blog article or a resource page that matches what Google is already putting in the search engine results for that. So if you see page 1 is all blog articles and similar things like that, then that's what you have to do in order to rank for that generic term. And I can attest that I've done it for different things. It works. So whatever you see in the search results, this is the evidence of what you're seeing. This is what you have to do in order to rank. And you can't just will Google to rank your services page for a generic term that doesn't include, I want to hire somebody that does this near me, or this service, add region or city. It's not going to do that in most cases. So just something to keep in mind. Also too, people hear a lot of things. They watch YouTube videos or they read blog articles that tell them things that, like, if you do this, it's going to help, or if you avoid this, then it will help, and if you do this, then it's going to hurt you. And there's myths like that, like duplicate content will hurt you. You know, if you link build too aggressively, it's going to hurt you. You know, all these different myths. If you add like so-called LSI keywords or things like that, you know, then it's going to help you. But the biggest thing is getting people to the goal that they want to get to and matching the pattern that Google expects to see, or that's succeeded, given them good signals in the past, like other pages that were in other regions that looked like this and had this type of information, and these things on the page that got people to their goal, whether that's getting information or hiring somebody or doing their research on something. Whatever that goal is, your page has to have that. Then you have to have the link profile and a good looking site that has good UX to where you're sending all of the good signals to Google. So again, look at the evidence of what the search engine results pages are showing you. Don't listen to things that you've heard if it is contradicted by the evidence of what you're seeing in the search results. What is working in the search results is the evidence that you need to go by, instead of, you know, what these random SEO people say is working or not working. Look at the evidence. No matter what it is, you can find a pattern, an emerging pattern somewhere in there of what is going to help you. So that's my advice. That's all I have for now. My name is John Locke. My business is Lockdown Design and SEO. I'm here about once a week making videos. I would love to see you subscribe. And if you have a suggestion for something that you would like to see, or a question that you would like to see answered, feel free to put it down in the comments below. I'll be returning next week with a new video. And until next time, peace.